das Zeichen, dass wir beginnen können, aber es ist noch gar nicht 7 Uhr.
Weltcup Herrenligen-Mannschaft um den 15. FORTIN Cup 2026. Das Finale. Coupe du Monde par équipe EPEE masculin. Bitte begrüßen Sie mit uns die Mannschaften. Pour accueillir avec nous les équipes.
Last left to do with Czechia. 16. There's one shocking day that really Hungary.
Auf der Finalbahn, Piste Final, treffen aufeinander im Finale die Mannschaften aus Korea und Frankreich. Korea geht an den Start mit
One state, which will be Ukraine. Asian Switzerland. It's the semi-finals here.
Für Frankreich starten Alexandre Bardenet, Aymerick,
France beat Sweden on last to 2. On 16.
geleitet von Olivier Bastien, Marek Fischer, Referees, please start the match.
Na, warum habe ich das erzählt? Dass ich jetzt mal ansprechen will, dass jeder aus dem Allgemeinen kennt diese beiden Einsprecher. Das ist damals mit der die das von 1968 bis 2003 gemacht haben. Die nochmal von 1979 das vorletztes Jahr verstarben. 2024. Es ist auch heute für mich Abschied zu nehmen.
Yes, my French obviously part of a transitional period after the Paris Olympics 2024, started to 2017, hard after the Paris Olympics, ultimately decisive, but a lot of having experience against the French senior team for the first time for an extended period. They've managed to come through that, the sort of first part of that transitional period immediately after the Olympics, still sitting in 4th in the world rankings. And Korea going through a similar thing, but over a slightly more extended period. Korea kind of dropped down the rankings just before qualification for the Paris Olympics, and in the end did not qualify. And it's a team which at the moment their individual rankings are not that great.
Not spectacular, no.
Yeah, but they've and their team ranking has dropped to 16 now, so they're quite a long way off the top table. But performances and results like today is exactly what they need with a newish team to start climbing up again. And
well, they're going into qualification next year, so anything they can do this year that helps with that, it has to be done, really.
Yeah, I mean the start of qualifications, they're not that far away, so it's literally just over a year away.
Yeah,
about 15 months,
something like that. Yeah.
So to give yourself the best chance of qualifying, you need to get up the rankings a bit to make your life easier, so you're not running into teams like Hungary in the last 16.
Interesting as well, we're talking about the sort of French team in transition. We've got Bardenet as the sort of the senior in the team. He's the one obviously from the Austria team previously. And it's a similar situation with Korea here with Park, the Rio gold medalist and multiple World Cup winner following that, being the only one, the last man standing out of that group.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Joseph there, France has got them a good 2 hits there after a couple of slightly nervy quick attacks from Park. Good active defence.
Park gets Korea on the board. We have followed a couple of Korea's matches, and we have really enjoyed seeing Park Sangyoung producing some of his best form. A career just totally littered with injuries. We went through, sort of partly went through the enormous list of surgeries that you have to go through, and all the recovery and physio work and recuperation that takes, and what a strong character you have to be to get through that. And nearly 10 years on from his Olympic gold, he's still only 30.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And we think about looking at the litany of injuries, they really began in 2013. It's a long time ago, Oh, very good. Pressures the blinders enough to slow John Joseph down so that he can finish off on the toe. And that's sort of very typical of Park. That very good initial prep, and then the confidence just to follow through after he's engaged the blade with that short flash. It's very surprising.
Nicely done.
Yeah, very nicely done.
So yeah, big long lunge coming from John Joseph. It does require a huge amount of calm to just duck it smoothly underneath it and make the counter attack.
And he's just aware of John Joseph's prep. You can just sort of get that sense. It's worth watching the space in between two fences as well as the fences themselves. But you can kind of see that he knows that John Joseph's taking the step. That this is the prep. It's not the attack. This is the prep.
Yeah,
and that's
our distance sensitivity and recognise that there's not a threat right now, and I can go now. On that moving forward.
And he's just turned that around. It started off with a 2-hit lead for France, and all of a sudden it's a 2-hit lead for Korea. And that's a nice thing to hand off to your teammate in the next leg. Yeah, Juan, they're just happy with the double. That sense that he managed to bait Galley enough to launch just a little bit of distance. He's got a longer reach, and as a result, it ended up being a double. Oh, very nice. I wasn't sure he was going to get away with that. Just doing enough there to ping Galley on distance.
Yep.
So he went for it.
The first two French fences are two pretty big guys with long reaches, both with long attacks, and so far so far. First two Korean fencers have handled that pretty well.
Slightly risky, I thought. That was nice from Galley, just maintaining his cool.
So good patience from Wang, able to decide when you can make a low risk counter attack, feeling pretty confident of getting at least a double out of it.
Yeah, so far so good from the Koreans. Looking professional, very poised. Good management of that distance against Galley again. I mean, he's just playing it again, just by the percentages, just to make it stop.
Yeah, I got pushed far enough back, so back foot over the back line. Managed to produce enough of a threat to make Galley back off to give himself a little bit more room again.
Yeah.
So that when Galley pushed forward one more time, he had room to make the counter attack and take the double out of it. The fence is just
the Greens, they're not going to push for
killing time to run the clock down to the end of the period.
In den letzten 9 Sekunden beide Fechter hatten sich bereit erklärt, mit diesem Trefferstand weiter zu fechten, aber der Kampfrichter hat
so it holding leg.
Yeah, it's good.
Fine in the Korea.
It'll be interesting to see how Zhang manages Bardenay in this one. He was looking really confident when we saw France fence earlier on. He was very settled, very confident in his attacks. There's a lot of composure there. He's obviously got a lot of experience.
He does move very nicely, little steps, changes direction, and a nice smooth delivery of the hip to foot.
Very, very calm response there from Zhang, just being patient. Not buying the same distance trap that Barden was trying last time. Yeah, short attack there, launched into Bardenet's prep. He just spotted the change of direction, got his hand out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Zhang handles this match, because he was on the last leg for the Koreans in the semi-final, where they almost managed to give away a really big lead, an 8-hit lead that he'd taken into that last leg.
Yeah, he was the only fencer in that particular match that looked like it was having a wobble. He was clearly, really struggling with the pressure of that moment.
Yeah, the nerves had kicked in.
Yeah, he did just enough to get it over the line.
But at the moment, certainly answering the questions that Barden is posing for him.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. Because Barden is very bright.
Yeah, if you hit Barden once by stepping in, stepping out, and then launching to foot, you're probably not going to get much joy out of trying it again almost immediately.
Very nice. Barden maybe just being a little too casual there.
Yeah.
Sort of settled into a rhythm, and that allowed Zhang just to pick his moment to take him on the wrist. Oh, very good as well.
Yeah, good strong parry across there from Zhang.
Yeah.
So I thought that the flesh attack from Barden was actually pretty well hidden and did look surprising, but I felt it dealt with it very well.
A little bit of a sense of urgency coming into Barden at the moment. He's reached that distance where you feel that Barden may try for a point now. Yeah. Can't do enough there to stop him. Oh yes.
Gave himself just enough room on the piece that when the attack eventually did come, he did still have room for a step back to
Yeah.
to hit with a counter attack.
Again, both fences just gonna, I think, take that and finish. Strong leg there for Zhang.
Yeah, very good work.
Like, Barney can be a little bit unhappy because he was quite dominant right at the start, but he wasn't able to maintain that.
It felt like as the leg wore on, Zhang found answers to
Yeah. Maybe
to what Barden was.
I think also he altered his approach to the game slightly. Maybe he didn't hang around in distance quite as much. He was more prepared to give himself a touch more room so that he had an opportunity to read the situation a bit better. So it was really smartly played this time.
Okay, so into the middle period of the match, the fourth leg.
Oh yes, I think the clock wasn't starting again. We had that issue earlier. Joseph maybe quite considered. Yeah, you can see exactly what he's worried about. He's been very considered. He was probing, trying to find a way through, and that's exactly what he's worried about. Is that strong counter attack coming from Wang. Oh, he missed. Yeah.
Got the timing absolutely right.
Yeah.
And then sailed past the target.
Yeah, so just you feel like, phew, glad that worked out. Yeah, another one there. Jean-Joseph just winding up for the attack and Wang spotting it and aggressively stopping him.
Yeah, doing just enough to keep him at bay, and then when there's a hesitation on Jean-Joseph's part, I'm ready to jump in.
That was better.
Yeah, less hesitation there.
Yeah.
He got into range and fully committed to the action.
Yeah, pulled a wild parry, managed to angle around it as well. It's a lovely aggressive attack. Yeah, I'm sensing a bit of frustration with this though, and that would explain why he's perhaps launching his attacks a little bit too soon. Maybe another step or two, then do it.
Yeah, that's another rock solid leg from Korea.
Yeah, and managing to spread out the lead a little bit by one more point.
Yep.
He's really confident there.
40 Nationen haben heute Morgen den Dienst aufgenommen hier beim 15. Volkkampf. Die Beliebtheit Heidenheims ist enorm. Das hat es bei diesen anderen Mannschaftsweltcup in der Stärke nicht. Nur ein einziges Mal waren wir höher. 41 Nationen 2024. Natürlich im Olympiajahr.
So, Park Bardenay for the fifth leg. Two most experienced fencers on each team. Being up in the middle of the match rather than in the last leg, as you might perhaps expect.
Yeah, I think it's fair enough to ask for a review on that one.
Yeah, my feeling of that was that that Bardenay had taken the parry but missed his riposte while Park was passing at the time he made the second attempt to the hit.
Yeah, you might be right. But it's worth asking the question, perhaps. We'll see in a minute.
kommt er zurück.
So referee's back.
An die Startlinie.
He's changed his decision.
Er war schon vorbei, deswegen stellt er keinen Treffer.
Yeah, so it's an old.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Yeah, Park doing enough there just to pull Bardenay in for that short attack so he can duck underneath. There can't be many people who've got the the poise and the confidence to be able to do that.
Especially from such a short range attack from Bardenay. It wasn't like the sort of big long step lunge that you've seen from the other two French fencers.
Yeah.
So you could see that would be more vulnerable to a duck and counter attack.
Yeah. Again, another sort of typical Park one there. He just holds the blade, he just holds it long enough and then goes, because he understands that the worst case here is a double. But very, very typical Park.
And this time Bardenay lands the first riposte.
Yeah.
Slightly ill-timed attack from Park there.
Yeah, I think also Bardenay was a bit more ready for him, and while they couldn't respond immediately to the attack, you're right, the power riposte had plenty of time this time.
I think the fact that he was prepared to hold it a little longer and be more precise with the riposte, the first riposte.
Yeah. Same thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it puts Park under pressure, trying to pull that short attack out so that you can take the blade. Yeah, there seems to be a bit of a plan for him there. And he's done a good job eating into the Korean lead. Bardenay there, just seeing the attack coming in and just allowing it to fall short, but not risking an immediate response because of the danger you would get picked off on the way in. So good control. Yeah, professional stuff there from him.
Yeah, good leg from Bardenay.
Eating into that, eating into that deficit, handing off a better position to Galley.
Yeah, you don't need to do it all in one go. Bring it back a couple of hits. It's fine.
Interesting to know what's going on in Park's head there, because we saw him earlier on. He was quite unhappy with his performance in one leg, and then he came out in the next one and was devastating.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got KWON on. There's been a substitution. I wanted to see these long flowing attacks. It's interesting that the Koreans have chosen to use the sub for this one. Yeah, a beat parry. Spots the long attack. Beat parry riposte. Nice.
Yep, so a little more frantic in his style. More movement, slightly higher tempo.
Yeah. Like how Koreans move really well.
And yeah, interesting to know what the thinking was in the Korean substitution. They're in a position of strength. They're up. Whether it's just to throw in something different for the French team to have to think about, or well, Galley in this case to have to think about.
Well, yes.
Die linke Seite hin verlagern, die Koreaner führen 3 Treffer. Sie sind nicht gezwungen,
He's still
durch
put his
Attacken den Gegner
shoe
zu
back together.
beeindrucken und Punkte zu sammeln, sondern das muss natürlich Frankreich leisten.
I can't remember which tournament it was that, but I saw somebody launch a flash, but his opponent stood on his shoe, and his foot came out of his shoe.
Well, no, I do remember that. I can't remember what the actual competition was, but yes, I have seen that. You know, as a fencer disappeared down the piece, leaving his shoe behind.
A little bit too early for the attack from KWON, and Galley spots it and just picks him off as he comes in. A risky play, I thought. There's quite a lot of height difference here as well.
Do for KWON?
Yeah, I think he's quite happy with that.
Yeah, I think the height difference thing, two parts to that. Galley's massive, and KWON's maybe not tiny, but
I don't think he's tiny.
but small for an EPEE.
Yes. Maybe average height though. But the
Quite possibly,
quite,
yeah.
quite possibly. But I think this was a big gamble they didn't have to make. And Galley's done a good job of again eating into the lead.
Yeah, down to just a hit now, and
And a good minute and a half left of fences. Plenty of time for the French fencer to continue to eat into this.
so Galley just stepping off the side of the piece there, and
Yeah, we're
referee
pushing him
stops
back.
the fight and moves him back a metre. Yeah, it'd be interesting if the KWON substitution doesn't produce a positive result here. Do they sub him back off again?
I think I would.
Or do they stick with him for?
Yeah. I mean, there could be other reasons too. You know, it's not just necessarily a tactical thing. The person he's subbed on for could just be saying, you know, that I have an issue, I can't fence. You know, sometimes the hand's played, it's out of your control. Multiple remises. Somebody's getting a card out of that. Yeah, Galley.
Weil den Kontakt mit dem Gegner hatte,
He knocks over KWON.
dass schon den Kampfrichter so, dass sagt, naja, das war schon ein bisschen mehr als ganz normaler Kampfgeist.
Yes, at the moment KWON would be on to do the 8th leg against Kendrick.
Yeah, I'm not
George
sure.
Joseph.
If I had an option, I'm not sure I'd keep him on for that one because it's very similar to Galley.
Yes.
And as a result, I think if I was the coach, I'd be saying, I think, saying to the team captain, I think we should go back to our original plan.
Yeah.
Oh, he's reaching for his card again.
Also gibt die gelbe Karte. Das hat noch nichts zu bedeuten, ist nur eine
So that was just reaffirming the yellow that he'd awarded earlier.
I thought he was upgrading it to red for some reason.
No.
Well, that would have been very odd, I would have thought. And so we're back to all square, and it's, the match will feel quite different from now on.
Galley on the charge now with 16 seconds left in the clock, and he's gone from a 3-hit deficit to taking the French team ahead by a hit.
Yeah, he's showing good composure, and you know, he's not not overeager on this at all. You know, he's calm. At one point up his spine, he's completely changed the nature of the bout, so the match. You know, he's handing off the lead to Bardenay, which is great because you've got your senior fencer coming in. Yeah, I think Gallagher can be patted on the back for that. Good performance.
Yep.
Versuchen die weiteren Treffer zu machen oder lieber jetzt abwarten. Der Gegner ist ja immer etwa im Kopf kleiner. Hier stimmt es nicht ganz. Überlässt man dem das Feld, dass er den Druck macht. Wenn das der Fall wäre, würde sich das Gefecht auf die rechte Seite hin verlagern. Das wird jetzt spannend und mal sehen, was die Trainer da als Anweisung gegeben haben. Also, Korea hat gewechselt, das muss notiert werden und dann geht es weiter. Oder deuten einen Wechsel an. So lange muss gewartet werden, bis das geklärt ist, weil der zweite Kampfrichter bedient ja die Uhr noch. Der muss also jetzt.
So it looks like the interaction there between the.
Und dann geht's wieder weiter.
Between the French. Now was that between the French box and the referee? Or was that the French box being notified of a substitution? We'll have to wait and see what was actually going on there.
Yeah, good calm build up by Bardenay. Just picking the moment where Hwang looks like he's going to change direction. Just catches him on that little period of dead time.
Yeah, that brief moment with the foot's stationary and hittable on the ground for just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Hwang was onto something there. I just don't think he had the conviction that he needed. And again, Bardenay just showing his quality.
Well, interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, Barney sort of committed to the hit with his feet, but the message hadn't entirely caught up to his hand. But Hwang seemed sufficiently thrown by the whole thing that he didn't really know how to react. And,
Yeah.
Eventually, Barney was able to land his hit from a range of about half a metre away.
Something like that, yeah. Good example of broken time there. I think the French really are looking like they're turning the screw now. Really putting the Koreans into a bad place. And this is all going to be about Bardenay's experience again. You know, I mean, look at him. He's not really pressing at the moment. You know, he's doing enough to sort of walk forward and ask a question, and he'll back off a little bit just to see what Hwang's going to actually do. But you know, we're at a 4-point lead now, so he doesn't have to really do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't have to quit, doesn't risk anything.
Yeah. And here comes a P card as a result.
So, jetzt ist eine Minute kein Treffer gefallen, das heißt, beide Richter werden ermahnt, aktiv zu sein.
So you're just working the Koreans towards a more unpleasant situation. And I think Bardenet's right to sort of celebrate that. He fenced a very good leg. You know, he's increased the lead. Yeah, no, I think he's every right to turn to his box to celebrate.
Yeah, no, it's a very good piece of work, good control, showing his experience and understanding of the game state.
And right enough, here comes Zhang. So it looks like they subbed KWON off. And it's FORTIN who's come on for the bench.
This is curious.
I'm not sure I would have done that, but
yeah,
maybe they were expecting it to be KWON and thought, and that would explain why they were both boxes were talking to the ref. I think this is the first time I've seen FORTIN fence this weekend.
yes, it is.
We've not seen him in a team match earlier on or anything.
Unless he fenced in one of the 32, the 32 match, which we didn't see any of. But I'm pretty sure he hasn't featured in any at any point in the last 16 quarterfinal, semi-final.
But it's another tall pommler. He's nice and active. Very good sucking up all that pressure as he goes in with multiple releases against FORTIN, and just eventually manages to pull in with the cream. That's very good. And they're just probing a little bit, just looking for the pattern. We misread that though.
Yeah, went for it without really setting it up enough. And FORTIN nice and balanced and ready to.
Yeah, let him fall and fail.
Yeah.
Das Risiko des Koreaners wurde nicht belohnt. Wurde ausgekontert und wir sind wieder bei -4.
FORTIN again doing just enough to draw Yang out and then taking up the attack immediately.
Yeah. Good composure.
Pressure kind of mounting on Yang now to make something happen. Less than a minute left in this leg.
Yeah.
So went for it there, fully committed.
Yeah.
But FORTIN stays calm, picks up the double of the counter attack.
Yeah, it's not, neither side's looking particularly nervy, so it's not like this is a nerve situation. I think it's just gotten a little bit out of the Koreans' control. That leg with KWON has really cost them, and they've gone from obviously a nice comfortable lead where they were quite happy just to sort of eke it out to this now that they're chasing it. Just settling for that now. Yeah, again. Yeah.
Very good, very professional leg from Paul, FORTIN coming on as a sub.
And it's Galley, it's anchoring the French team. Interesting. So the Koreans will be relying on the magic of Park to appear in the final leg.
Well, he's got a lot of work to do. He didn't finish in their previous matches. Maybe after a slightly funny nervy finish in the semi-final, he decided that he's the man for the job. But yeah, facing a big task here to claw back that deficit.
I mean, as you were saying earlier as well, I mean, we're nowhere near a target number here, so you can suck up a few doubles while you're working out what the timing is.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have too much of an impact on the.
So I think we can safely say that we expect the score to suddenly start racking up. Oh, that was nice.
So there's your first one.
That's the first one, yeah. He just spots a slight pause as a guy's a little bit lazy on his retreating. That's just the wind he needs.
Guy more sensitive to the threat there and cutting it off early.
Baiting Park a little bit as well.
So, beide müssen nochmal ihre Klingen biegen. Die Klinge über die ganze Länge darf nie mehr als 1 Zentimeter gebogen sein. Und ja. Alle.
That's going very well for Gavi.
Slightly anxious look to Park's last couple of preps.
Yeah, kind of chasing shadows a little bit. He's having to force the pace, obviously, and he's going for hits that aren't really on at the moment. He's just exposing him to too much risk, and eventually able to take advantage.
Racing, he stepped off the piste.
Slightly apologetic way from Gallia there. He wasn't aware that he was off the piste when Park hit him, so he's saved by his own misdemeanor really there.
And it's starting to feel to me. I mean, let's not completely write off the Koreans, but it does feel like it's slipped away from the Koreans now.
Yeah, a 9-hit gap. With Park struggling to make openings on a regular basis, and if anything, Gallia looking more likely to pick up single lights. And at this point, doubles are fine. They get to the point where they're close enough to 45 that a double's a perfectly acceptable result for the French point of view. Got to give it a try, but
I feel he could have prepped it just a little bit before he went. Well, I guess he was just trying to surprise Gallia out of the trap.
Yeah, reaching the point where you've only got about 6 seconds a hit to score them at. And, well, there's one of them.
There's one of them. It's going to get tricky now.
It's a long way off, isn't it?
Did a good job there just to wrap up Galli's blade and then just finish it.
don't see Galley having the kind of panic that the Koreans suffered in their last leg in the semi-final.
No, he does look very composed at the moment, and you know there is such a large lead that you know that he doesn't need to panic. Yeah, like he can just use his reach to keep Park at bay. That's good. I feel that Park was a little bit lucky on his flex there. Yeah.
At full stretch and a bit beyond.
Yeah. a good response from Galley. Well, lack of flesh too. You know.
Trying to repeat the dose.
Yeah, I think Park's wise to it now.
It's not going to be enough to be just wise to that one option and double to finish it off. And in the end, a really comfortable win for France from in a match where they were in a weak position for a very large part of it.
Yeah, it does feel like the whole match changed when the Koreans, for whatever reason, sub KWON on, and that cost them the whole thing.
Yeah, really.
They just collapsed after that. I mean, we don't know what the thinking was, but you know, it was a costly mistake. But I mean, at the end of the day, they started 15th and finished second. So you know, it's a good result anyway.
Yeah, in the short term they'll be disappointed, but as we're saying, the ranking needs a boost, and second place here is going to help them enormously.
Oh, enormously.